What's up guys, Sub-Zero here, back with another VOD review, and this is actually something pretty special. So this is a student that we coached about half a month ago. It was one of the first coaching sessions that I actually put up on my channel in this new set. They're Platinum at the time of me recording it, and they have now hit D2. They're somewhere around here in like Plat 2. They've climbed all the way to D2, and they're looking to push Master. So like, first of all, huge congrats to this student. That's really incredible growth. And second of all, let's see how we can do. Let's see if we can keep going. As always, if you're interested in coaching yourself, go to my Metafy link. It is in the description down below. I offer live sessions and VOD reviews. You get 10% off of your Twitch sub, 10% off if you buy more than one session. And I also offer these training plans, which are like big bundles of a bunch of sessions. So yeah, without that being said, let's get right into the session. So their goal is to hit masters. They're talking about, converting third fourths into first second, seventh eighths into fourths fifth, which I think is, definitely the way to think about TFT. But don't really understand the latest patch and viable comps except late game AP dragons. And so we can go into that. And then their comment for this game, I effed up my econ early since I couldn't decide strongest board. Then late game, I effed up econ again. I think this is an easy first or second. Love some help on how to get masters. All right, let's get right into it. And I remember in our previous session, something that I was harping on was like playing strongest board early. I felt like they didn't play a very flexible early strongest board. So that's definitely something that I'm going to keep in mind in this session to see if there's been improvement. Hopefully there has. And then also to see if there's anything more we can do. Also, something from last session I recall was okay, sorry, there's background noise, so I'm just gonna mute this. Another thing that I remembered was just like knowing how to cap out your comp perfectly late game, because they were playing, I think it was, I don't remember exactly what the comp was last time. I want to say it was Guild Zaya. And I feel like they were a little bit, like there were just a few units that they were missing. Okay, so tier start, it's not my favorite this patch, but not the worst. You did go for tier start, right? I like rod start and I like giant spell start better. Some people even say bow start is fine, but I really don't think there are that many AD comps that you can flex into. I prefer rod or giant spell start, though it is one of these carousels that has none, right? Like, what would I take here? Yeah, the tier is fine. Okay, let's get right into it. Okay, so yeah, tier start. On those carousels where it's all tiers and gloves, I can live with it because I definitely don't want glove start. Yone, I'm down to check what Mirage is here. Very interested in that. And I swear, okay. Attack speed. That's a good one. That is a pretty good Mirage. I don't know, like, who's to say what the actual run rates of everything are, but like, I'm not against playing Mirage start here. I am kind of against, like, I like basically everything that you're doing here. I'm kind of against selling the Senna there. This could become a Hodge for Senna. Like, imagine one of these orbs drops us 2 Sennas, and we would just have Senna 2 if we didn't sell it. So just something that, like, here, like, we would be holding Senna pair, but now we're not. Like, I would hold the Senna pair over this Heimerdinger pair, personally. So yeah, you don't need to sell that unit immediately, right? If you need it for econ, like, say it drops you, like, 2 karmas, then you can, sell the Senna by the karma. But no reason to sell it early, especially when Senna can hold the tier decently. If it was like a chain vest, I can maybe see the sell making more sense. But like here, it's completely plausible that we can use a tier on Senna. So small optimization. Heimerdinger 2? Okay, not bad. Yep, I love playing 2-star units. And we will figure out what our early game board is. Ooh, I wouldn't sell the Atrox yet. We might want to sell it though. I do generally like holding all these units, but I think you bought the Atrox and then you're like, wait a minute, the Shen would also be really good. So yeah, a bit of a Sag thing there. I mean, this is fine. We have a Frozen Heart and just basically a lot of gold here. We're still looking to hit some 1-star pairs, so no need to pre-level. Yeah, I would probably honestly hold the Diana. I don't think scale scorns are that playable. I don't think they're that strong in this patch. There are specific spots you can play them. And we already have the Shen, which is an incredible unit for the scale scorn comp. Like, you can very easily play this like Mirage Yone start if you end up hitting like an Olaf or something. Though you'd have to wait until level 4, of course. You can end up playing scale scorn with that. So I'd hold the Diana. Though Ashe is a really good unit to hold if you're thinking of playing something Jade. Yeah, it is a bit of a toss-up. I think Diana makes a bit more sense with these units, but I mean, thinking more about it, I mean, the other thing is that Frozen Heart is a very good slam on Diana. Um, and, you know, if we don't have a Diana, then there's no one to put Frozen Heart on, and, you know, we probably just don't end up slamming it. So that probably makes me more, like, I think Shen plus all these plus the Frozen Heart makes you want to hold the Diana more than the Ashe here. But I understand that you're looking potentially to play into Jade. And that makes sense with Leona. I think I would hold Diana here over Ashe. But you know, it is a bit of a toss-up. Tiny Titan CB Exiles. I'm pretty sure Exiles tends to have like an insane win rate early. I mean, we've already hit one pair. I don't feel a need to take Tiny Titans here, right? Like we have the Heimerdinger, and we end up also hitting this Leona. Like we could win streak from this spot. And also like check it out. Like we see this Braum here. Like imagine if our board ended up being something like Braum, Leona, Diana, um, and then like this guy right here, this Yone, and then we end up getting in Shen later, and we play like a really strong scale score and plus Mirage opener. So yeah. But I mean, the upside to taking Tiny Titans here is that you have a pretty high gold opener, right? Like right now our board is worth 8 gold, and then our bench right now is worth what is that, 9 gold. So we can play a decently strong early board while also making it very easy to make econ. So that's nice. But I would look to win streak here, honestly. Exiles is also quite good. Like when you 2-star units, they have more HP, so every 2-star unit is really good with Exiles. So I think I would take that. Yeah. But okay. Yeah, I'm down. Okay. I would have much rather preferred this play if we had one not taken Tiny Titans. I mean, yeah, the biggest thing is not having Tiny Titans here because like pre-leveling, or not pre-leveling, but just leveling with Tiny Titans is a little bit sus. The other question is this your strongest board? I'm kind of thinking Shen here because I think we're gonna lack damage a little bit. Heimerdinger is more of a CC than like an actual damage dealer, right? And so I think with all of this, like if this unit dies, we have 0 damage. If we tech in Shen instead of Guardian, we get Warrior, which would be pretty nice to just like actually augment our damage. The upside is that Leon is 2-starred, so she's gonna give us a big Guardian shield. Yeah, I think I would look for Shen in here instead of Braum, just because I feel like this comp might lack a little bit of damage. But I mean, we'll always win this fight, right? But yeah, like if you're looking to win streak here, which I think makes perfect sense, I don't think we should take Tiny Titans. I think Exiles is really good, or Celestial Blessing, but I prefer Exiles. I kind of like holding the Nami because we have this Heimerdinger. And I also don't really care about summoning Tyr on Heimerdinger, because we could end up actually playing him late game, and then the Tyr's gonna kind of suck if we ended up playing like a mage comp. But yeah, I don't hate holding the Nami. The Sejuani's really nice though. I'd probably sell the Aatrox and hold the Nami, right? Then we can still hold the Sejuani pair, and then we still have a warrior that we can get in. We'd always put this in over the Aatrox. So yeah, I would hold the... It just makes sense with our liking plan. Oh my god, Olaf. Like what an insane... Okay, so there's a few different ways we could take this. I mean, Olaf's obviously an insane unit to get in. We could look at just playing around Olaf plus these guys, lose streaking, like playing a scale scoring game. I don't even hate that. It's like a really early Olaf. But yeah, like this could have been an insane scale scoring game. There's also Tristana, right, where we could play trainers, and then you know start scaling up a Namzi and playing a Corki game. In general, I think Corki is stronger, so I'd probably pick up the Tristana here, play it over the Yone, start farming stacks for Namzi, but still play like a decently strong board. But the Olaf is fine as well. So I would just pick. Our board leans a little bit more Olaf, right? Because we have this Shen, and this like these units make more sense with Olaf. So that the discussion is Olaf is like in general a weaker comp, but our board is better for Olaf, and our Augment is actually quite good for Olaf because now we can put Olaf into every fight and then spike at like 3-2, something like that. And also our items are really good for Olaf. The more I talk about it, the more I'm convincing myself to play Olaf. But you could play Olaf or Tristana here. I think it's Olaf though, personally, just based on everything. But yeah, like I know, like I'm sure if you look at the win rate of this comp, it's not that good. Post the nerfs, right, Wolf? I mean here is 4.5. I mean this is the assassin version. It's tiny play rate. Scale scoring version 4.67. not good, but not terrible, honestly. Like definitely playable. But just like, not definitely not something that you force. But this looks almost like a perfect start for Olaf, right? We have a 2/2 Olaf. We could have had the Diana as well. We end up selling that. But even just the 2/2 Olaf plus all this stuff, plus Tiny Titans, plus Frozen Heart, which is like best in slot in the Olaf comp, really makes me think it's Olaf here. Um, I like full disclosure, I haven't played this Olaf comp on the new patch. I've watched other people play it though to good success, so I think it's good. But yeah, I would be playing Olaf here. I would also play Olaf or Trist here, right? I don't think we're playing our strongest board. I mean, this one's a little bit murkier. Because you end up having to drop Mirage to get an Olaf. But I mean, it's a 3-cost unit versus a 2-cost unit. You would still have Warrior in, or you wouldn't have Warrior in, but you would have Scale Scorn in instead of Mirage. And I mean, the biggest thing is then you'd start stacking up Olaf. I guess the biggest point here is that you want to start stacking up for one of your late game plans, right? Either you start stacking up Namzi or you start stacking up Olaf. Doing neither here is, I think, wasting an opportunity, basically. But I mean, like, looks like you're definitely, oh, okay. I'm playing Tristana at this point. We have a Tristana pair and a Heimerdinger too. I'm just down to play Trist here. Also, we saw Lilia. Like, we could have had 4 scale scoring at 2-3. How insane would that be? You definitely play the Tristana here, right? Yep, okay. Completely agree with this. This is our board. We can just make 10 here. Oh, and looks like there's someone who potentially might play Olaf, so maybe good. Maybe good that we don't end up playing it. It's definitely something that you should scout for, because if you're contested, there's no shot I would play Olaf. Okay. And I would definitely make 10 here. We don't really need most of these units. I would hold the Shen, but I would sell these 2 units, because we'll probably end up playing a Bruiser's board. And I think this is something that you were talking about. We end up pre-leveling here, which is fine. But I mean, with Tiny Titans, I'm kind of happy to just aggressively make Econ and then, use that to spike later. Oh, I'd love to get that Tristana. We have Tyr and this. I would take the Sunfire, surely, right? Sunfire or Glove, but Sunfire is way better. Especially on a Leona 2, right? Okay. And we hit a Bruiser, so that's not bad. Because we do want that in later. I mean, we can play the Silas for now. We definitely want to make Econ as well. But I think holding the Silas, holding the Shen makes sense. And then we can play Mages as well. Like, pretty soon, honestly. I would always slam the Sunfire here, right? I don't think there's a world in which you don't slam the Sunfire. Especially because we're level 5. We pre-leveled, so we're playing for Streak. So we should definitely slam Sunfire here. Just one of the best item slams possible. We end up winning. That's all right. But yeah, like, honestly, once we have that Tristana, I'm completely fine hard committing to this comp. So then we don't need to hold the Braum or this, because I know we have a Brahmin right now, but that's going to come out later. We definitely don't need the Nami as well if we're committing to that comp. And I think it's completely fine to commit there. With the Tristana 2, we are 1,000,000% committed, right? This looks like a really good Corki game. Or I guess you could do Tristana reroll, but I'm really much bigger fan of Corki than Tristana reroll. We can sell, I mean, I guess theoretically you could play Lilia as your mage plus Braum. So I mean, if we win, we don't have to sell anything, so that's fine. So yeah, I guess, like, theoretically, it could be Silas in over Leona on level up. On level up, Silas plus Lilia in. I also think we should have held that Jinx, right? Yeah. Still a little bit blind to these. Like, we have a Tristana too. We should definitely look at holding Jinx. I think that'd be very helpful for our mid-game and late-game plan. And I mean, yeah, that's going to be our entire late-game plan, is playing trainers. I mean, not trainers, but cannoneers, rebels, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I would honestly even play the Silas here, but I mean, the problem is it's really tough to get mage in. I mean, you just got Braum, right? Archangels? Huh. Okay, I'm interested to see where you take this. I guess you're thinking of taking it to like a mage angle. In which case I would sell you and make 20. Okay, we end up almost selling. But yeah, it looks like you're gonna take this into a mage angle, because we have the early Namzi stacking, so we're just gonna use Tristana to help stack Namzi, which is interesting. We have a really strong front. We should definitely slam Sunfire, right? Okay, we go fast level 6. On a 3 streak. Slam rolls on Heimer. The problem is Heimer only targets one unit at a time, so he's not really the best Morello's holder. I'd much rather a Sunfire just on our front line, and then we can play around the this is something that I was talking about in my last coaching session. But what happens here is we slam Morello's, which uses our Rod plus our Giant Spell. So then we're left with a Chain Vest. We would much rather slam the Chain Vest plus Giant Spell, and then we can play around a Rod, which, you know, I mean, not much needs to be said, but Rod is really good in Mage comps, so yeah. Alright, what do you get? Double Trouble Electro, Makeshift. I kind of like Electro here. Electro can be used very well in Mage comps because you already want some form of magic resist reduction. Yeah, the Tiny Titan is pretty funny. If you can get like an Ionic Spark or a Static Shiv, it's, you know, really good with Electro Charge because you're already going to be dealing magic damage with your abilities, and then the Augment is also going to do magic damage, so you can just shred MR and get hella value out of it. So I end up playing this board with no mage in, that we can play Whispers. I don't prefer this. I think it's definitely Nami here. It also gets Mystic in, which is gonna matter anytime you fight someone magic damage. But I mean, we're win streaking for free, which is really nice. Like even with Tiny Titans, but you would definitely play the Nami here, right? It gets you two really good synergies in, and Thresh's ability, I don't think, does enough to justify playing it over the Nami here. So yeah, and then you could also even sell the Thresh and pick up Lilia for a potential with Mage. So yeah. So overall, I mean, we're win streaking, which is really nice. I still think there's some things to fix up. Oh, Itis? I would definitely check what Shimmer item is here. And I also think just having our items on Heimer is a little bit sad. Gem? It's not even that bad. Huh. I mean, it could be Itis. The problem is, you'd like really want to get Shen in here, and then you have no damage. You could get Nami, and that would help you have a little bit more damage. I think it's a bit too hard to fit this unit for the gem. The gem is kind of nice because our fights are pretty slow already. But I don't think it's better than our current board because we have to cut this Shen. Okay, if we're cutting, if we're playing Itis, I would cut the Lulu, play the Shen, so we can just play all of our 2-star units. Because having this Shen 2 sitting on our board is kind of tragic, or on our bench, I mean. And like, I mean, stacking up the frog is nice, but I'd much rather continue our win streak, right? Because if we lose because we're, you know, greeting an extra Namsi stack, that would be really tragic. So yeah, I would either put in Shen or a mage here. I'm pretty sure it's just Shen. Because yeah, like surely we win this fight with Shen 2 in instead of what we have. Insanely close fight, right? We always win it with Shen 2 in. So yeah, very greedy. Okay. And now we're stuck with this Chain Vest to play around, but we don't even want to build Sunfire, right? So I guess it's just like Bramble Vest would be fine. We could also take another like Tear. Tear looks good here. Yeah, I think it's fine to take Tear here. Because this can become Bramble Vest, or it can become Gargoyle's Stoneplate, whereas Tear, we'd like to build a Shojin later. I'm a little bit uneasy about having these items on Heimerdinger. I don't think he's the best item carry. Okay, at this point I would, once again, we have a 2-star unit that we're not playing, so I would cut Lulu and play the Nami. Yeah, the gem is... Okay, you can put it on Heimer, because he's probably going to be the last unit to die. I don't think it's bad. You do lose a little bit of value. But, I mean, the biggest thing here, now that it's Nami 2, I would definitely play Nami here, right? Because then, I mean, one, she's really good with, you know, the gem's sort of ascension game plan. Because, you know, she makes fights last longer, she heals units. Okay, you're, like, tabbing out to do something. Okay. And the other thing is that she's going to get you 3 mage in here, which is hugely important. We'd also love to get a Thresh in, right? So it's probably, like, Nami here, and then Thresh in at 7. Okay, so we end up finally swapping it over and getting mages in, so this is good. I think we could have still played Itis, actually, with the Nami, or, you know, the Shen as well. But I do think, at the end of the day, it was probably best to just always be playing this board, which I talked about earlier. But, like, if you want to play the Itis, there's a better way to do it as well. But the upside is we have a very, very stacked Namzi, and we have so much HP and a good amount of econ. I agree here with just pushing level 7. Normally with mages, you like to just roll it down at 3-2 and hit Nami 3. But 1, we don't have our items on our Nami, and 2, we only have 3 Namis. So I'm happy to just go like fast level 7. We missed a Rise earlier, didn't we? Wasn't there a Rise in one of our shops? I saw that. I don't think I called out picking it up, but didn't we have a rise in? Yeah, we had this rise in our shop. We could just. I would always hold the rise over the 2 threshes, because it's a rise too, and you're playing mages. Okay. Back to this. Wolves. Oh, press play. What do we get out of wolves? Good to keep all 3 trainers in. Oh my god, just a Shojin straight up. What happened to the? Oh, we built Frozen Heart. Sorry, that was like a round ago, I guess, huh? I was going back, so I didn't notice it. I don't really agree with Frozen Heart and mages. Oh, yeah, we took this tier. I didn't really. We built Frozen Heart here. Oh, because I probably like skipped ahead during it. I don't agree with Frozen Heart Slam. I don't think it's very good in mages. You really want, with Frozen Heart, you really want backline access, and you're just not going to get that in mages. You want an assassin, or you want just some kind of unit that's going to get to the enemy backline, and, you know, there's not a unit in mages that does that. So yeah, I don't think it's a very good slam in mages. I would have just held the tier, and then we can build, like, maybe even a second Archangels, but, I mean, ideally Shojin, right? Being a Shojin, we have that, so that's good. I would slam that here. Okay, we have. I mean, we put in Thresh at 7, which is fine. I mean, we're so high HP that I think it makes sense to just go fast level 8 and pivot to either a dragon. Pivoting to Deja would be pretty tough from here because we don't have any Mirage units. But if we got like a really good Deja board, just like naturally, that would be nice as well. But it's probably like Aoshin or Shivana or Aurelion Sol. They look really good with these 2 items. The Shojin is really good with Aurelion Sol and Aoshin. More Aoshin, right? Because he's the bigger mana cost. Money frontline with Electro Charge. Kind of lit. I don't really like Portable Forge. There's too many bad items that we can get here. I would just take Phony, personally. College Bin's okay. But yeah, I mean, we can get... I mean, Manazane and Rocket Propelled are both good. I'd probably take the Rocket Propelled. Manazane's good as well, though. I mean, you are a mage comp, but you're already going to have the Shojin. I think it's a little bit repetitive. I guess we could end up not slamming Shojin. I mean, this is a good item late game on a lot of units, but it's just what do we do with these other 2 items right now? I would have taken the Rocket Propelled because we're lacking frontline items, so we can just slam a Shojin here. But yeah, I'm totally happy to wait 2 rounds. And then we'll be hard chilling, basically. We can roll it down at 8 with a lot of gold. We did take a lot, but I mean, we're 103 HP. I think we're okay. And I mean, you recognize that fact, which is good. Oh my god. We just natural and Aoshin at 7. I mean, it's already better than the Heimer. The problem is we kind of need another Heimer so that we can keep Trainer in. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is fine, right? Because we actually... Oh, Morello's Aoshin? It's not very good, right? I mean, he hits a decent amount of units. I've never built it on this unit, actually. I imagine it's not that good. I would much rather put Morello's on someone else and wait for a better item on Aoshin. I've never taken it, though. Like, yeah, but I'd be surprised if it's anywhere close to best in slot. I gotta do this. They changed their UI. It's really cool and slick. Yeah, it's like not very great in slot. It's like the 15th or 17th best item or something. I wouldn't really slam Morello's here. I think there's a decent number of units that can hold it. Silas can hold it okay. Dami can hold it okay. I would just do Manazane Archangels and then probably look for like a Giant Slayer. Seems like the best last item from this spot. Or a Hodge, because we don't really have any healing. One of those 2 would be fine. But like the Morellos, I don't think it's very good. Because like, this means you're not going to have healing reduction for most of the fight. And like, most of the time when Aoshin is hitting a unit, he's killing them. So, you know, you're not really getting the Morello's value. So, yeah. Now these have to become frontline items, because we can't really slam an Aoshin item here. So, I mean, it's Static Shiv every time, right? Okay, good. You need Static Shiv as the supportive item, especially with Electro Charge. Okay. I mean, I'm down to go 8 here. Yeah, we can put it on Trist. I'd much rather find the... I would really like to have another Heimerdinger. Okay, we're even going to greed it out. I mean, I would personally go 8 here and roll it to try to stabilize our board. But we are pretty healthy, so I guess we can continue to greed it. Especially this is like another like elo thing. You have to play for the tempo of your elo. If you're finding in your games that you're not getting punished here, then it's completely fine to not level. And in my games, I would always level here because I'm gonna fight some like really strong boards. Like this guy's board is pretty strong. Um, like I imagine we should lose to this, right, with the Corki 2, and like not great items, and they have Ascension. Yeah, like this is the kind of reason why I would level. We're 103, now we're 87. We took 16 damage there. Yeah, like this is why I would level here. We still have a decent amount of gold to roll down, especially because we have like holding some units on bench that we don't need to play. So I would level and stabilize here personally. And we hit a Heimerdinger. That's huge, right? So now we can kick out the Tristana and just get Mage in for free. That's really nice. Okay, so we leveled this turn. But you notice how leveling at 4-6 instead of 4-5, we put 2 XP into the next level instead of the previous level. It's like we're leveling off interval. So I would prefer to do it the previous level. Two Yasuos is of course amazing. So this is always getting cut for Heimerdinger. Oh, we rolled over the Heimer. That's sad. You need the Heimerdinger in here, right? The most cap version of Aushin is going to play mages with Zoe. So I'd really like the Heimerdinger. I mean, the Yasuo is a great front line, so we're definitely going to play that. Yeah, I mean, think about it, right? We could have Yasuo in for free here by just cutting the Trist for a Heimer, right? This Trist is really not doing that much. But because we didn't pick up the Heimer, now we can't play that. A bit rough. But I mean, our board's still pretty good. We really need to find an Ornn soon, right? That's gonna be hugely important for just stabilizing our board. It's like the #1 unit this comp needs. I would even sell Thresh here just so we have a little bit of gold, because I don't think we're ever playing Thresh, and I like having as much gold as possible to roll it down on Treasure Dragon. I mean, these are good items. The problem is we don't need more damage items. We need frontline. So I would roll these. We really badly need frontline items. So, I mean, who are you going to put these on? Like Ryze, Nami? I don't think it's worth it. Definitely refresh. Oh, we're going to take... Okay. I mean, that's not bad. Get a freaking Yasuo too for free. I guess we can put some items on him. You can put Death Cap on Yasuo so he has a bigger shield. Ryze too, but I'm really not that interested in Ryze. Asol. Is Asol better than Aushin here? These are better Asol items, actually. And there's nothing pulling us towards playing Aushin over Asol. I would play Asol here over Aushin, because Asol actually really likes the Morellos. So you can just put all these items on Asol. I really wish we had the Heimerdinger so that we could fit in another unit, because then we cut Ryze, put Heimerdinger here, and then we can just have Yasuo in. Because there's no way we're not playing Yasuo too. Like, at this point, I'll cut the Shen for Yasuo. Yeah. Redemption is fine. I would honestly just put these 2 items on Yasuo. And I would play him, right, is the biggest thing. But yeah, I think I pivot to Asol here. I don't actually know Asol 1. I'm pretty sure Asol 1, just like stats, is better than Aushin. Well, they're like neck and neck. They're basically the same. Okay. But my biggest reason for thinking about Asol here is because we have the Morellos on our carry. Asol's a much better Morellos holder. Like, if you just look at Asol items here, you'll see Morellos pop up in, like, the best builds. See? Like, boom. Morellos there, Morellos here. Whereas Aushin, you have to scroll, like, all the way down to find it. And if you go to individual items, you know, it's 5th best instead of 15th best. So I'd pivot to Asol here, personally. You could also scout the lobby and see how many Asol players there are, but it doesn't... yeah, I mean, maybe if there's, like, 10 people playing Asol. But yeah, I mean, tragic. Absolute tragedy that we have Yasuo on the bench. I mean, I would absolutely cut the Shen. When we ended up locking for the Asol, right? Wait. It's not one of those situations where the game just gives us the same shot. Okay, we locked for Asol. But I mean, it's an easy pivot from Aushin to Asol. You just swap the 2 units. So that's fine regardless. Okay, and we got Yasuo in, which is nice. I agree with this over Shen every time. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Asol is better than Aushin here. Keep the Sona's not bad. I mean, we're already gonna have Evoker in because of the Lulu, so we don't even need to like put Sona in here. The other thing is we don't have an Ornn, right? So that's not even like pulling us towards playing Aushin. If we had like an Ornn 2, maybe you could think, okay, Ornn 2 much better synergy with Aushin because we're gonna get the Tempest in, but we don't even have Ornn. So I think this is fine. A fine spot to play Asol. Oh, and you did talk about... Oh, and I don't think we even really need to roll it down here, personally. I think our board's stable with frickin' Yasuo too, and like our whole board 2-starred. Okay, if we're gonna do this, so we're cutting Mage to play Ornn. I mean, there's no really other way to do it because we're still playing the Trist. I guess you could cut Trainer. Trainer is pretty good here. I guess this is the way you have to do it, but You see, this is why we should just play A Sol, right? Because then we don't even have to fit in the Ornn. I mean, we should always have Heimerdinger in for the Tryst, but if we can't do that because of circumstances, then I would just play the A Sol here, and then we don't even have to play the Ornn. Because now that we play the Ornn, we're losing Mage, which is like, I mean, it's very helpful for the Silas. The Rise, I mean, late game with Mage would just become Zoe would be really, really nice here. So yeah, like, I mean, we have a lot of HP, but we're going to lose some of these late game fights to capped out boards because our board is really not that capped compared to how it could be. But yeah, like, I almost think our board was stronger. I mean, our board A-Sol and Nami is definitely stronger than these two units. Yasuo item here, ET, I guess. Even TG wouldn't be bad because, I mean, it's just a Yasuo with no items. Shroud's not bad here, but I really want to itemize our Yasuo too with no items. Like, really badly. I think that's bigly important. And yeah, we're just rolling it down every turn. But I think like, honestly, we could have gone 9 this game very easily with our HP total if we just played A-Sol instead of Aoshin and then made 10 that fight and then, you know, like, continued to make 10 every fight. You know, make 10, eventually make 20, 30, you know. But instead we're, like, rolling it to 0 and holding this Aoshin, or the A-Sol, which doesn't really make any sense, right? It's not like we're going to find an A-Sol too, just randomly, unless we get, like, Nico dropped off of neutrals. So I'd rather just commit to one of them and then make Econ. I think that's going to cap our board out a lot higher. And it's not like we're about to die. We're at 50. So we could have gone 9 if we had started making Econ during this phase. So that's something. Good Shroud, getting the Shiv. And I just realized that this VOD review is going a little bit long, so I'm going to try. But, like, you see how the Aoshin just doesn't do as much damage because we have our Morellos on him, which is, like, kind of a sus item. Like, you know, we still won that fight. But, you know, you'd much rather have, like, a better damage item on Aoshin. So A-Sol, because A-Sol is AoE, does really like that Morellos. So, like, these would be sick A-Sol items, not gonna lie. So, yeah. I guess we're gonna keep, oh my god. Okay, now you just hard commit, right? I mean, you can, oh, and Zoe's better than Rise every time. I mean, we don't even need Rise in, right? It's not like he's doing anything. Like, if we have Heimerdinger over Tristana here, we play Zoe plus Heimerdinger, and our board is so strong. But I mean, it's pretty unlikely that we hit a Heimerdinger right now, right? Alright. So another fight against a Corki board. Yeah, this guy's board's pretty strong, so we're gonna take a decent hit. We're 2nd place in HP right now. Okay, and I just want to get to the last fight, too. We're hitting decent Shrouds, so that's good. We fought this guy's clone. I mean, you know, we probably would have preferred to Shroud the other side, but this isn't the worst Shroud. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, the Shroud is not going to make a difference. I mean, it's going to make a difference in these fights, but, I mean, honestly, maybe that fight was a Shroud diff. I was going to say, because, like, our board's not that capped, that the fights wouldn't be as close, but that was a pretty damn close fight. All right, I mean, I agree with Zoe over Rise here already. I think she's just a better unit, but we really need Mage in so badly, which is why we need the Heimerdinger. If we had the Heimerdinger, we would be hard chilling. Okay, great Shroud, though. Let's see how this fight goes. It's still the Corki player with Ascension, so it should be really hard for us to win. Yeah. Do we take 20 here? We go down to 2. It looks like we can't beat anyone else, so it's gonna end up being a 3rd. Mage Spat off Carousel would be really nice. Did we get the chance to take it? I know I'm skipping quickly because I want to, for, you know, speed's sake. Wait, we took... That's us. I would take Mage Spat here every time, right? Because that can let us get mages in as well. I think it's better than a Declaw, which is good versus some of these comps, but I mean, AD is pretty... Or Corki is pretty AD, right? Can we sell the Yasuo? It's a Yasuo too. There's no way you would sell Yasuo too. Might it? Oh, there's a Heimerdinger as well that we missed, because, like, Heimerdinger here is a force of nature, or Tactician's Crown, you know? Playing Heimerdinger means you can play another unit that you couldn't otherwise play. It means you could play, like, a Bard instead of this Nami. So, like, Heimerdinger is insanely good here. And I assume we lose this fight. And then we go 3rd. Okay. I mean, an interesting game. I do think there's a lot that we could have done better this game. I mean, as I talked through, I think the early game board, we did play a pretty strong board, but there's still a few little things that you can do to play stronger boards early. And I mean, like, that's TFT. Like, I still don't play my strongest board every single fight. So it's like, that's just part of life. But you do want to just keep striving towards playing your strongest board. Always looking at every single unit in your shop and saying, can I play this? Can I play this? Trying to figure that kind of stuff out. Playing your 2-star units, playing synergies that make sense. And then outside of that, the late game board, I think we should have just committed to A-Soul. I think it actually made more sense for our spot. But I mean, once we commit to Aushin, we can also play the A-Soul, if that makes sense. And then still capping out your late game board. Just looking for the units that are really important. Heimerdinger there, really, really important. If we had Heimerdinger in there, we could have easily gone level 9 and just capped out our board and won this game. Though it looks like that guy, 96 HP, had a lot of econ, so maybe not first, but definitely second this game, and probably first. Like, if you go 9, we're like guaranteed to hit Aushin or A-Soul 2, which is much higher capped than a Corki board. So, yeah. But those are my thoughts. Interesting game. I hope you enjoyed the review, and hope everyone on YouTube enjoyed it as well. As always, if you need coaching, check out my Metafy. Link is in the description down below. I will catch you guys next time. See ya!